Welcome to BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher along with BNEWS reporters Robert Paris and Chris Flaherty, Peter Brown with the weather, Jolie Atwood with the community calendar, and Liz Gillespie with sports. Our news director today is Tad Stefanak. Thank you for joining us. Burlington has developed a littering problem during the pandemic that has become so severe it was an agenda item at the Board of Selectmen. DPW Director John Sanchez was before the board regarding the 4 dumpsters located at Town Hall, which are provided for residents to dispose of cardboard. For the most part, residents have been good about the upkeep and obeying the sign posted to not leave cardboard or trash outside the containers. However, the pandemic has seen an uptick in package delivery, leaving people with a large amount of cardboard to discard. During the holidays, the dumpsters were emptied every day, and the DPW still found themselves having to post pictures on social media regarding the mess. Mr. Sanchez had spoken with Burlington Police Chief Kent about arranging signage regarding the littering and making the crime a finable offense. Town Administrator Paul Sagarino noted some of the cardboard left outside the dumpster still had the mailing address labels on them, revealing most of the culprits to be Burlington residents. The selectmen will be looking for the best way to proceed at their next meeting. Senior citizens are benefiting from the Burlington Breakfast Rotary Technology Assistance Initiative program. Say that 3 times fast. Volunteer BHS students are instructing senior citizens in technology's imperative to keeping connected in the COVID culture. BNews reporter Tad Stefanak has this.
All right, is everyone muted?
Technology has been the tie that binds in COVID culture. However, some tech tools can be out of reach for the older generation. Looking to close the generation gap is the Technical Assistance Initiative.
An initiative that started between a collaborative effort between the Burlington Breakfast Rotary Club and the Council on Aging, and it started in August 2020. We decided that this would be a good initiative to help our seniors in the community, especially during this pandemic. We realized that many seniors have had trouble using technology because every day we use technology for different means.
For our younger people, for us, it's not hard to communicate with their friends. But for the senior citizen in our community, it's harder for them because technology doesn't come easy to them. So we wanted people to connect in the most safest way possible, which is over technology.
I help my grandfather on a daily basis. He calls me regarding any problem that he has in his phone, in his laptop. And I know that a lot of seniors just like him face these problems and they might not have a lot of family members to reach out to. So that's why I wanted to join this initiative and help these seniors.
And some seniors are also curious to learn about how technology works. So to fulfill their curiosity and make them feel more part of the community, we thought that this is a good initiative and it's working out really well.
When we do go to their house, we ask them to wear masks, and we also wear masks as well.
And we try to maintain distance. Of course, when we're helping them and teaching how to use the technology, it's hard to maintain distance, but we try our best. Of course, there's internet service outside, a few feet away from the outside, then you can help them that way too. Or you can just sit inside and try to maintain as much distance. So we try our best.
Getting to talk to them, I think it feels good. And I think that's what I like about it the most, that way I get to interact with these people.
A senior that we recently helped, she was almost 80 years old and she had not talked to her sister in a long time, and we set her up through a Skype account, and she was able to video call her sister who lives in a completely different country.
There's a few ways for seniors in need of tech assistance and the tech savvy to get involved.
There is Rita Shah, who's the president of the Burlington Breakfast Rotary Club. You can email her. And there's Marge McDonald, who's the president of the Council on Aging. So these 2 people have been really taking initiative of this program and helping us with the requests. So you can always reach out to them because they let us know when there's a new request and we handle the program that way.
So you can visit the Burlington Breakfast Rotary Club's website, and there's a volunteer application form on the website.
A few weeks ago, I started an Instagram, which is @Burl Rotary Tech Assist, which you can all follow. We've been posting some contact information on there and some initiative posts of what we've done.
So I guess it's just all a matter of putting a smile onto people's faces.
From Burlington High School, I'm BNews reporter Tad Stefanak.
And the children will lead them. Kind of biblical, I guess. The state's educational leaders are moving forward with statewide standardized testing, a move opposed by the Burlington School Committee. During their last meeting, Superintendent Conti said that the Massachusetts Department of Elementary and Secondary Education has said the state will be administering the MCAS test this academic year. He clarified that it will not be used for accountability, but only for diagnostics, and that for students in the K to 8 range, it will be a shortened test. Conti said there are still many unknowns about how the test will be administered given the current hybrid and remote learning practices. Members of the school committee agreed and discussed a resolution adopted by the Massachusetts Association of School Committees. All school committee members supported sending a resolution to the state. The resolution rejects the call for the students of 2022 who missed their 10th grade MCAS testing to be required to make it up during this school year, or ever, and this will not affect their graduation. The resolution also calls for a moratorium on all high-stakes testing for the 2021 school year to also all students can focus on learning. More details on that resolution can be seen at bcattv.org/bnews, as always. Marshall Simons Middle School has a moose on the loose. BNews reporter Robert Paris has this story.
Marshall Simons Middle School is welcoming a new addition for students and educators. Meet Moose, the MSMS Therapy Dog in training.
So Moose is going to be the middle school's therapy dog. He has started a little bit of training and he just needs a little more. And then he's going to be coming to the school regularly to be the therapy dog. This was an idea we kind of started, I think, last year in the spring, and we've really been working towards bringing him to school. Miss Jane Lynch and Tess Cooper O'Neill, we've worked very hard to get Moose to this school, and we're just all very excited about it.
Like BHS Therapy Dog Scooter, Moose will provide love and support for the middle schoolers.
So he will be providing hugs and just therapy to the students. They can come see him if they're upset, if they're having a hard time, or else they can come see him, if they are just, want to come down and say hi to the dog. He's really here just to help everybody kind of feel better, just, help support the students where they need it.
Although Moose is still in his early stages of his training, handler Julia McSweeney cannot wait to bring him in for the young adolescents.
I know that he's brought a lot of joy and happiness to my house, and I can't wait for him to come to the middle school and bring the same here. And I think he'll have so much fun coming and seeing the kids every day, getting to spend time with people. I'm very excited to bring him in.
From Marshall Simons Middle School, I'm Robert Paris for BNEWS Weekly.
Some of us, myself not included, had taken advantage of the recent surplus of downtime to express ourselves creatively, be it reading or writing or painting and drawing. One local artist, Megan Chiango, has devoted her time and talents to create a series of paintings that spotlight a group of individuals who have taken on extra responsibilities during the pandemic. BNews reporter Chris Flaherty spoke to Chiango about her work.
The pandemic has stirred a lot of emotions inside us, and some have expressed them creatively through writing, reading, and artwork. Megan Chiango has used her time and work as an artist to turn a spotlight on a group of people she believes deserve more recognition by creating a series of paintings known as the Love Warrior Project. The project began last spring when Chiango found herself taking on more duties as a mother and a caretaker.
The contract workers where I was working were laid off, and so I found myself I have 2 young kids, and there's been high demands for parenting, extra responsibilities with parenting through this all. I found that a lot of those extra duties somehow they came to me, and I found that to be the case with a lot of moms I was talking to. So I was angry about that. And then when I did end up losing my job, I was angry about that too. But I did end up painting a lot more. I wanted to celebrate the Love Warriors and be tough, with it, to rather than fight. I was just going to love harder with the paint and connect with people and other moms that are going through the same thing.
Each painting is a recreation of a photo of an unnamed mother taken by their child.
My idea there is that your children can get a response or an emotional response from you in a photograph that a photographer can't get. There's a vulnerability there, and there's there's a connection there that they can bring out of you, especially when you're doing silly things, really interests me and is something I wanted to capture. So I had a very simple photo exercise. I came up with about 8 prompts, like, what is your mad face? What's the face that you make when you know that somebody's getting in trouble? Or like, what face would you make if a bear was chasing us and coming after us? What face would you make to scare him away? But the point was really just to keep it light and fun.
Both mothers and children have been overcome with excitement and emotion at seeing their photographs transformed into Chiango's paintings.
When the kids saw the pictures, they got so excited to see a photo that they took kind of transformed into this painting. I had noticed that there was some feelings of fear in sharing these kind of non-posed pictures with me, but then when they saw it, maybe there was a feeling of relief too. But they've all been, some people were really touched. It was more emotional for them. Other people were just happy or amazed or thrilled. A lot of people made them more profile pictures. So it's been good response. So I encourage everybody to do it.
Chiango and the Love Warrior Project show us how art allows us to connect with one another and express ourselves creatively.
I feel like I have all this care and energy inside of me, and I want to somehow give that to people. And I guess the best way that I feel like I can at this point is through these projects. And it also, I feel like as we're in isolation, it's like we're all left to kind of create our own meanings these days, our own reasons to get up in the morning and get through our days. And this is sort of a way I can support other people that are struggling like me, going through the same struggles that I am. It's just trying to put a little bit more love out there.
Until next time, this is Chris Flaherty for BNEWS Weekly.
The town of Burlington was designated a green community in early 2020 and received a designation grant of $172,250. This grant was recently used to upgrade the HVAC system and energy efficiencies at the Burlington Library, including replacing the 2 rooftop air conditioning units and upgrading all of the HVAC controls within the library and weatherizing all doors. Utilizing other grants and rebates, the fire station headquarters is set for an overhaul of their HVAC system. The town also replaced 4 microprocessor-controlled electronic devices at the Human Services Building and replaced all of the town building lights with LEDs. In 2020, close to $1 million worth of upgrades were completed to town facilities, but only cost the town $153,000. For more information, please contact Rachel Leonardo, Department of Public Works Operations Analyst at 781-273-7611. Blaze Pizza is Burlington's own brand of paying it forward, called Blazing It Forward. Not only have their business opened with extensive safety protocols, Blaze Pizza charitable giving has been extended to assist organizations in the Burlington community. BNEWS reporter Tad Stefanak popped in for pie and has this report.
Blaze Pizza is blazing it forward, of course with safety protocols and charitable giving to the Burlington community.
As of now, Blaze Pizza is open here right by the Burlington Mall. We do many different styles of pizza, including the way you like to pick it up. We have curbside as well as delivery, and you are still able to place your order in store. Each pizza takes about 3 minutes to cook, so in no time you are able to eat inside or take it to go. Blaze Pizza has started new protocols to make sure each and every guest is safe. We now call it Ways to Blaze, where we have different procedures throughout the experience, including markers on the floor for social distancing, and we mark and seal each of our boxes so that there's no tampering with each order. Blaze Pizza loves to give back to their community in many ways, including our fundraiser program. Here at Blaze Pizza, we also offer a % of our sales that can be donated to any group that signs up. We simply have people either dine in, and now we have it online as well, where you can order for pickup, curbside and delivery, and 20% of those proceeds will be donated back. Last week, we had Burlington wrestling team here to enjoy a meal as part of their fundraiser, and we were really excited to work with different members of our community here in Burlington. So in a few weeks here at Blaze Pizza, we will be donating funds to Burlington Community Scholarship Foundation, who will be hosting a fundraiser here between 5 and 9. 20% of the proceeds will be donated back to help support dollars for scholars. Blaze Pizza was happy to donate 25 pizzas to Leahy Hospital right down the street from our location. We were able to make signature pizzas that were individually wrapped and sealed, so each member had their own personal meal for their safety. Now with our fundraisers for dine-in and online, we're looking forward to continuing our efforts of working with many groups in our community moving forward in a safe and fun way.
It's a win-win when you enjoy some delicious pizza while contributing to local causes. From Blaze Pizza, I'm BNEWS reporter Tad Stefanak.
There's a lot to like about Burlington, and in recent years, the town has become known as Boston's best neighbor for its booming industrial and commercial industry. The town of Burlington is conducting a survey for the Lower Town Center with the objective of developing a temporary placemaking strategy for that part of town. Placemaking is about rethinking Burlington for its people and not just cars and shopping centers. Placemaking focuses on observing, listening, and asking questions of the people who live, work, and play in the area so their needs are understood. According to Burlington's Economic Director, Melissa Tintakalis, the goal is to have people imagine new possibilities in some of our existing spaces that allows for more interaction and business activity for neighboring businesses, Tintakalis said. Town officials would like to hear your ideas for the town center area that will help support businesses and create a visually cohesive identity. You can see that, I think. You can go to bcattv.org/news, and you can find that survey. You can also find it at the planning board. In BCAT's ongoing endeavor to entertain, inform, and educate, we bring you our latest installment of Town Government 101 with Town Clerk Amy Warfield, examining the role and responsibilities of the Board of Appeals in Burlington.
Hi, I'm Amy Warfield, the Town Clerk. I'm here today to talk about the Board of Appeals. As we've talked in the past, there are three different parts to local government: the executive branch, the legislative branch, and the judicial branch. While towns don't have courts and do fines or do criminal cases or civil cases, the one board that does kind of arbitrate and look at the rules and regs that are involved in town is the Board of Appeals. In other towns, sometimes they call it the ZBA, or the Zoning Board of Appeals. And what happens is, if someone is working with planning or building department and has been told what they can and can't do based on the regulations, and they prefer to do something different, they can come to the Zoning Board of Appeals, and the Zoning Board of Appeals would then evaluate the decisions that have been made and make a decision based on what the laws and the bylaws of the town and Mass General Law allow them to do. The process of dealing with the Board of Appeals, or the ZBA, is that you have to get a decision from one of the other boards and then take that decision and do what's called a variance. A variance is that you want to have something done that's different or not totally spelled out in our zoning bylaws. Variances may deal with signs. They may deal with how you're building something on your property. They may deal with where lot lines are and whether you can build something up to those lot lines. And just in general, anything dealing with zoning. After the board has reviewed the case, they will allow the petitioner to make presentations and talk about with them what are available, or what they want to do, and what maybe can be done. And then they will make a decision, and that gets formally written up. And then if it's approved, that is something that then the property or the proponent will then take and it gets attached to the deed for that particular property. That means that if you want to build a shed on your property and it's closer than what's allowed to a property line, that needs to be put onto your deed so that going forward, people know why that was allowed and you don't have a problem later with it in terms of a neighbor coming in and saying you have to take it down. The Zoning Board of Appeals in Burlington is made up of 5 members with 2 alternates, and they meet every other Tuesday in the month. Depending on how many cases they have, depends on how long it might take to get a decision back. So hopefully that gives you a good overview of what the Zoning Board of Appeals does for us in town.
Let's go to our tried and true BNEWS meteorologist, Peter Brown, for a look at what's in store this in the coming week's weather, followed by your community calendar with Jolie Atwood.
Well, hello everyone, this is Peter Brown with a look at your weather for the next 7 days, and here we are heading into the end of January. I know, hard to believe that we are actually almost 2/3 of the way through with the meteorological winter. Now we're going to be seeing temperatures that are very winter-like, that's for certain, coming up for the next 7 days, but no winter-like weather in terms of snow or ice coming our way, so that's some great news. And starting out our period on Friday, we're going to see temperatures are going to be up near 40, so pretty pleasant if you have to be out and about in the Burlington area. We're going to see a pretty cool shot heading in here as we head into the weekend, though, and as we end out our period next Thursday, temperatures again should only be in the low to mid 30s, and it's probably going to be about 4 or 5 degrees cooler than that, so probably hovering around 30, so pretty chilly. But of course, great news is the days keep getting longer and longer as we head further into winter. So as we go ahead, let's take a look at what the Climate Prediction Center is calling for us in terms of temperatures and precipitation for the next 7 to 10 days. And temperature-wise, this is something we really haven't seen too much of on these maps. We're expecting at or below average temperatures here in the Burlington area and across much of the Northeast. And as we go ahead and take a look at our precipitation chances, this is actually some very good news for us. Coming with those cold temperatures, there's going to be very little in the way of precipitation. So it doesn't look like we're going to be seeing any rain and certainly no snow or ice. So that is great news as this pretty dry winter continues on. Now, as we go ahead, let's take a look at those 7 days of weather coming up. And again, like I said earlier, there's not really too much to say about this forecast. It's been a very, very quiet January after we had that incredibly large snowfall back in the middle of December. The winter has really calmed down. And that's definitely reflected in our 7 days here, where we're pretty much seeing wall-to-wall sunshine from Friday right through to next Thursday. Again, starting out a little bit above average on Friday near 40, which is going to be very nice if you have to be out and around in Burlington. But then, of course, if you're going to be out this weekend, temperatures are going to take a bit of a nosedive down into the mid-20s, and definitely cold at night with temperatures maybe as low as the single digits. So bundle up if you have to be out this weekend. As we head into the work week, on Monday, we're going to be seeing a small storm system passing by, we think, right now to the south of us Monday into Tuesday. So it doesn't look like in the Burlington area here that we're going to be seeing anything except maybe some clouds and some breaks of sun. So again, good news for those of us who really aren't the snow lovers. As we round out our period getting into Thursday, here we are again. Nice conditions out there, the sun and just a few fair weather clouds, but chilly conditions down there around 30 again. So everyone, get out there, enjoy the weather, and have a great week.
Hi, I'm Jolie Atwood, and this is your community calendar. Get ready to paint! On Tuesday, January 26th at 7 p.m., the Burlington Public Library will be having a virtual paint night. Participants will create this painting with step-by-step instruction and guidance from artist Sherry Hoffman. All supplies will be provided via curbside pickup, and registration is required for this Zoom event. Call 781-270-1691 or email Shelley at ssloboder@burlingtonpl.org for more info. Come and enjoy an event about Lexington Historical Society. On Thursday, January 28th at 5 p.m., Lexington History will be having a virtual evening of wine and information on how to join their new Legacy Circle. go to www.lexingtonhistory.org/events for more information. Do your children like electronics? Starting on Friday, January 29th, the Burlington Parks and Recreation Department will be having a virtual program called Circuit Makers 101, Create Your Own Electronics. Grades 1 through 3 are welcome and pre-registration is required. To register, go to burlingtonrecreation.org or call 781-270-1695. I'm Jolie Atwood, and that was your community calendar.
Red Devil winter sports are off and running with safety protocols in place and doing a good amount of winning. Here now with all the latest Red Devil sports is Liz Gillespie with this week's sports report.
Hey everyone, I'm Liz Gillespie for your weekly sports report. A number of Burlington High teams are still undefeated in the Middlesex League, and we have the scoop on how everyone did, so let's get to it. The Lady Devils basketball team traveled to Stoneham to take on the Spartans on January 18th and were outscored by 27 points. Senior Marina Callahan led the way with 25 points, while sophomore Olivia Pena had 9 points. The final in the game was 51-24 Devils. Next, the team had a home game against the Spartans on Wednesday, January 20th, and we have some highlights, so let's check those out.
The Lady Devils basketball team faced off against the Stoneham Spartans on Wednesday, January 20th at BHS. Let's get to the action. In the first period, both the Lady Devils and Spartans put up 5 points on the board. In the second period, things picked up the pace as the Lady Devils put up 16 points while the Spartans put up 12. 21-17 Burlington was the score at the half. As the second half began, Burlington had a big momentum shift. They managed to score 11 points on the board, while the Spartans had 5. 32-22 at the end of the third. Now in the fourth and final period, Burlington took control at that point as they added another 14 points on the board, while Stoneham had 2. 46-24 was the final, Burlington.
The Lady Devils moved to 4-0 and will face the Wakefield Warriors on Saturday, January 23rd at BHS. This game will be live streamed on the BCAT Facebook page at 10:45 a.m. Boys basketball was supposed to play the Stoneham Spartans on the 18th, but due to COVID protocols, that game was canceled. Boys hockey had a matchup against Stoneham on January 18th at the Burlington Ice Palace. We have some highlights, so let's check those out.
The Red Devil hockey team faced off against the Stoneham Spartans on Monday, January 18th at the Burlington Ice Palace. Let's roll the highlights. Stoneham kicked things off in the first half as they got on the board, 1-0. At the end of the first half, 1-0 Stoneham. Burlington's Jack J answered for the Devils as he tied up the game in the second half, 1-1. Stoneham added another 2 goals in the second half. The final in this one, 3-1, Stoneham.
The boys traveled to Stoneham to take on the Spartans again on Wednesday, January 20th. The boys lost to them 3-1 just like last time. Sophomore/forward Nick Berglund was the only Devil to score that night. The team drops to 2-2 and will face the Wakefield Warriors on Wednesday, January 27th. The Lady Devils ice hockey faced the Stoneham/Melrose team on the 18th, where they pulled off a victory to stay undefeated. They then had a home game on Wednesday, January 20th at the Ice Palace against the Wakefield Warriors. We have some highlights, so let's check those out.
The Burlington girls ice hockey team took on the Wakefield Warriors on Wednesday, January 20th at the Burlington Ice Palace. Let's get to the action. Only 1 goal was in the entire game, made by 8th grader Caitlin Tremblay. The final score was 1-0 Lady Devils, and we had a chance to speak with Coach Sheehan after the game.
It was a good effort, good team effort. We have a couple of girls who didn't play tonight, so we had to move some bodies around. And then Caitlin Tremblay, she's actually, I think she's got 2 goals in 4 games so far. And she's an 8th grader, so she's had a really good season so far too. We play Wakefield next Tuesday at Stoneham at 7:30, so that should be a good rematch. I'll be happy to hopefully have my full lineup back, but who knows? It's almost a week away, and anything can happen with this, with testing and COVID and close contacts and some of the other things, So hopefully we stay healthy.
The team moves to 3-0 and will play the Warriors again next week. The boys gymnastics team had their home opener against Attleboro. The final in the meet was 148 in total points. The boys will have another home meet next Wednesday, January 27th. They start the season at 1-0. The Lady Devils gymnastics team had another home meet against the Arlington Spy Ponders on Thursday, January 21st. We have some highlights, so let's check those out.
The Burlington girls gymnastics team had another home meet on Thursday, January 21st at BHS against the Arlington Spy Ponders. Lady Devils competed in the vault, balance beam, bars, and floor exercise. The team managed to pull out a victory of 137.9 points. The team moves to 2-0 on the season. They will verse the Stoneham Spartans on January 28th at BHS.
Be sure to follow the BNEWS Sports Twitter for more at BNEWS Sports, and check out the Sports Hub page at bcattv.org. And that's all for your weekly sports report. I'm Liz Gillespie. Back to you guys in the studio.
Another week, another photo to highlight. This week's photo shows an annual tradition. The photo is furnished by photographer Joe Brown, showing a Parks and Recreation maintenance employee up on a hydraulic crane, a cherry picker carefully removing the holiday lights from the trees on the town common, with the service flags of the United States military waving in the foreground. Another good one from Joe. We'd like to see your photos. They could be of your holiday activities, a family trip, or just everyday moments, whatever you think is interesting and want to share. Email your photos to bcat@bcattv.org with the subject line Photo of the Week. Okay, and that's it from the news desk here at BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher, along with Robert Paris, Chris Flaherty, Jolie Atwood, Liz Gillespie, and Peter Brown. And thanks to our director today, Tad Stefanak, who is filling in for the vacationing Rich Hosford. Thank you.